swarms of mosquitoes. We've seen it all, and we handle it all. With expert
Insurance rates are on the rise, and now more than ever, every penny counts. With me, John Brooks at DFS Insurance, we can look over your coverages and find the right insurance carrier to help you keep your costs down. At DFS Insurance, I'm an independent agent, which allows me to offer a variety of different carriers to fit your needs. When you're ready for your free, no obligation quote, give me a call, and we'll get you on the path to the best and most affordable insurance you need with Dakota Financial Services.
Welcome to Dakota PC Warehouse, where our staff aren't just friendly, we're certified nerds with a side of tech genius. Prepare to be awed as we unleash a barrage of geeky charm and unbeatable deals on PCs and HD TVs. And our tech gurus, armed with determination and a questionable assortment of snacks, can fix just about anything. We love technology and making it work for you. Dakota PC Warehouse, because being a nerd is our superpower.
When the world feels big, a small note can mean everything. Find mental health support at sdbehavioralhealth.gov.
For healthier crops and stronger yields, count on Nutrien Ag Solutions. By partnering with the leader in plant nutrition, you'll have access to innovative products and unmatched service that deliver impact and efficiency to every acre. Healthier crops, happier growers. Lead the field this season and beyond. Find your local crop consultant at nutrienagsolutions.com. What's your big picture?
To keep the farm in the family.
To pay off the loan.
To start my own operation.
To drive Grandpa's combine. Right, Grandpa?
If owning a successful operation is in your big picture, First Bank & Trust has ag experts to help you plan for the future.
To diversify.
To teach her how to drive a combine.
Find out how First Bank & Trust makes managing your farm easier at bankeasy.com.
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
Life can get pretty busy out there. Daily commutes, carpooling, and then there's that weekend getaway. Cenex is here to keep your vehicle fueled up for those long drives, your pantry stocked for those snack cravings, and the propane grill ready whenever you are. Things can move fast, but with your local Cenex, you can rest assured that everything on your list will get a check mark, all in a day's work, powered locally at Cenex.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Best Western Ramkota Hotel in Aberdeen is the place to stay for business or the weekend family getaway. You'll feel right at home with ample parking, spacious guest rooms, and complimentary breakfast. And with a convenient location, you'll have easy access to local attractions and events in the area. While staying at the Best Western Ramkota, guests can enjoy an indoor water play land, an on-site Minerva's restaurant, exercise facility, wedding services, and a business center. For friendly service and a great stay, make your reservation today.
Farming today requires constant adjustment, innovation, and the right seed, and you'll find that with Pioneer Seed at Dakota Seed and Services in Irene and Vermillion. With the most advanced technologies and local experts, Dakota Seed and Service share in your hard work on the farm, adapting to an ever-changing industry. When you need the right seed, protection, and service, make it Dakota Seed and Services in Irene and Vermillion.
When life gets hard and our thoughts get too much to bear, finding the resiliency within us can help us find healing. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline provides 24/7 free support for anyone in suicidal distress or emotional crisis. All texts and calls are anonymous and connect you to local resources that uphold cultural values and pave the way to healing. Find the strength within you. Find the strength within our culture. Reach out if you need help today.
When it comes to advertising, reaching the right market while giving back to the school is just plain right. If you're looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here's your ticket with Live Ticket TV. With over 90 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you advertise locally with just your home team or reach the region. Plus, a portion of all sales go directly back to the school. Get a hold of Heath Nimke today, and let's get started in building your brand with Live Ticket TV.
Out here, you learn that to keep growing, you have to keep changing. CHS and the farmers and ranchers we serve know all about change, because together we've changed agriculture. That's why we're the largest farmer-owned cooperative in the country. So farmers own the system they count on, with advantages at every step. From innovative tools that help crops grow, to grain processing expertise, to energy solutions, we create connections to empower agriculture. Learn more at chsinc.com.
Nice.
Maytag appreciates a compliment, but this Maytag washer isn't just eye candy.
Wow.
Inside, it's got the capacity and power to handle even the mightiest loads.
I love this.
Yeah, she's a beaut.
It's a he.
How do you know?
Don't worry about it.
Find Maytag products and the industry's best appliances at your local dealer, Merce Appliance, downtown Vermillion.
Birds like tanagers are great at flying out of the way to miss your car. Deer and other drivers are not. If you're in any kind of accident, bring your vehicle to Blaine's Body Shop in Vermillion. We repair your vehicle to pre-accident condition and handle the entire process from start to finish, including an accurate estimate and dealing with the insurance adjuster. So good luck to the tanagers, and if you're in an accident, bring your vehicle to
Blaine's Body Shop. Blaine's Body Shop. Automotive collision repair.
Could you use some extra cash? Every Thursday night, we're hosting Chase the Pink Ace with a large jackpot and growing jackpot. I'm RF Bowie, the founder of Team Bowie Cares. 100% of the profits go to local cancer patients fighting their fight. You can get your tickets at any business inside Al's Oasis or online at chasethepinkace.org. Drawing is held every Thursday night at 8:08 p.m. at the Last Chance Saloon inside Al's Oasis. Thanks for caring.
Hey
Hey kids, it's never too early to start planning for your future. Did you know Masaba provides scholarships and tuition assistance? They are committed to your success, offering engineering, drafting, and welding opportunities, plus scholarships, job shadowing, and mentorship programs. Learn more at masabainc.com/careers. When I grow up, I want to work at Masaba.
Masaba Manufacturing. Unlock your future and rock with us.
Midwest Ready Mix Equipment is your locally owned and operated ready mix company. Their specialty, 6x6 front discharge mixer trucks that allows for better placement of concrete and ease of use. Midwest Ready Mix Equipment offers the highest quality of concrete products and aggregates, and also a full-service dealer for Logon equipment featuring telehandlers, excavators, and ASV track skid loaders for purchase or rent. Midwest Ready Mix Equipment, East Highway 50, Vermillion.
Jensen Kennels is your safe place to take your dog while you're away. They have over 7,000 square feet of indoor run space and outdoor play yards. They pride themselves in providing enrichment both mentally and physically for all types of dog. And speaking of size, Jensen Kennels can host any size of dog, from the smallest Boston Terrier to the largest Great Dane. To find out the full services Jensen Kennels offers, check out their website and Facebook pages. Next time you need your dog to stay in a safe, fun environment, make it Jensen's Kennels.
Fentanyl is a powerful synthetic opioid, up to 100 times stronger than morphine. Even a tiny amount can be deadly. It's often mixed with other drugs without your knowledge, increasing your risk of overdose. Protect yourself and your loved ones and avoid unknown substances. Stay informed, stay safe, and remember, one pill can kill. For more information on fentanyl prevention, visit your local health resource or speak to a healthcare professional today. This message was brought to you by the Great Plains Tribal Opioid Response, so that the people may live.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
South Dakota, it's the season opener for the Canton Seahawks and the Vermillion Tanager girls basketball team on Live Ticket TV and Vermillion Tanagers Live. Along with Cole Larsch, I'm Heath Nimke. The dynamic duo is back again for this entire season. Looking forward to broadcasting all the Vermillion girls and boys basketball games throughout the season with Cole Larsch. Cole Larsch will be doing some of the boys games as I'll be taking over on the girls duty. Cole will get in here on some girls games as well, but I digress. It is the beginning of the season for the Vermillion girls basketball season, and not only is it a DAC-12 season opener, it's also a Region 4A opener, but more specifically, more than that, it is a season of unknown coming into this year. In fact, it could say this could be potentially one of the greatest, if not the greatest, basketball season for John Brooks. The caveat to that is a lot of things need to happen this year if that were to play into a factor. Let's just get into the basics. After what has been done the previous couple of years, including winning a state title, and then last year being eliminated in the semifinals of the Region 4A, this team comes in as the youngest that John Brooks has ever seen when it comes to his coaching career. This year, one returning starter, that's Taylor Rivers, and then another one that saw some playing time last year, Lexi Hansen. That is the only varsity time returning. You could say less than 75% of the returning starting time from a year ago returning this year for the Vermillion Tanager girls basketball team. It certainly is going to be tough. It's going to be difficult, and there is a lot of unknowns going into this season. One of the bright spots, though, going into the season is opening up against the Canton Seahawks, and tonight is really a test to see where this team is at, the Vermillion girls. We expect this one not to be clean at times. Certainly a lot of nerves when you talk about at least 3 of these girls have never seen varsity starting time, let alone the entire bench. So there's just, again, a lot of unknown going into the game tonight against the Canton Seahawks, but you've put that on the reverse. One team that has never been dominant, if you will, when it comes to girls basketball in the Region 4A is the Canton Seahawks. Take nothing against away from the Seahawks. It's just kind of the way that things have been here over the past few years. You add on top of that just constant rechanging and different coaches, head coaches, it seems like every year for the Canton Seahawks. It does play the factor that this seems right for the Vermillion girls to open up their season against the Canton Seahawks. And like we said, tonight will certainly be a testing point to where this season is going to go for the Vermillion Tanagers, and it will also give them kind of a chance to reset immediately for the Vermillion girls. Just a quick look ahead. Yes, this game tonight against the Canton Seahawks, but then have a week off. They don't play again until next Tuesday on the road against West Central. The first home game doesn't come up until December 18th. So again, today, December 8th, opening up the season, but within 10 days have only played 3 games. We'll talk much more about the schedule coming up throughout this season, and again, more expectations. Again, I'm Heath Nimke, along with my broadcast partner, Cole Larsch. We're going to take our first time out. When we come back, we'll get Cole Larsch into this and break down what has happened so far as the official season when it comes to girls basketball on the AA, A, and B side has already began, and the official rankings are out. The not preseason rankings, but at least the week 1 rankings are out, and things look a little bit different from what they have in years past. And how much can you trust on those going into these first couple of weeks? We'll discuss that. Also, we'll talk more about this matchup. And later on, we'll sit down with head coach John Brooks of the Vermillion girls and discuss this game and what this season expectations are. That is all on the way here on Vermillion Tanagers Live and Live Ticket TV.
Winter programs start now at Grossenberg Implement. The Cold Start program is here to help you get ready before the deep freeze hits. Now's the perfect time to check your block heaters, coolant freeze points, and batteries, the top reason they get service calls every winter. Don't wait until it's too late. Stop by your local Grossenberg Implement or call them today and they'll come out and check your equipment for you. Keep your operation running strong this winter with Grossenberg Implement Service, the other half of a great product.
Pests don't wait, and neither should you. At Olson's Pest Technicians, we've been protecting homes and businesses for over 55 years. From bats and attics to rodents and walls, ants in kitchens, stubborn bedbug infestations, even swarms of mosquitoes. We've seen it all, and we handle it all. With expert technicians, ethical treatments, and service across South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa, you can count on Olson's to get the job done right. Contact us today at Olson's Pest Technicians. Family owned, community trusted.
Insurance rates are on the rise, and now more than ever, every penny counts. With me, John Brooks at DFS Insurance, we can look over your coverages and find the right insurance carrier to help you keep your costs down. At DFS Insurance, I'm an independent agent, which allows me to offer a variety of different carriers to fit your needs. When you're ready for your free, no obligation quote, give me a call, and we'll get you on the path to the best and most affordable insurance you need with Dakota Financial Services.
Welcome to Dakota PC Warehouse, where our staff aren't just friendly, we're certified nerds with a side of tech genius. Prepare to be awed as we unleash a barrage of geeky charm and unbeatable deals on PCs and HD TVs. And our tech gurus, armed with determination and a questionable assortment of snacks, can fix just about anything. We love technology and making it work for you. Dakota PC Warehouse, because being a nerd is our superpower.
back in Canton, South Dakota, as we get you set for the season opener between the Canton Seahawks and the Vermillion Tanagers. Along with Cole Larsch, I'm Heath Nimke, getting you set for this season opener. And before we talk more with head coach John Brooks, which is coming up here in just a little bit, let's bring in our broadcast partner, Cole Larsch, and let's talk about the big news coming out already on this Monday evening, and that is the official rankings when it comes to Class AA, A, and B. One thing that is new going into this season is in Class A and Class B, instead of 5 teams being ranked, there is going to be 10, and then I believe, another 10 are receiving votes. Cole, it is going to be crazy for the first couple of weeks on what it is going to look like. But one thing to note going into the preseason polls, if you will, and it opened up here in week 1, Cole, Vermillion ranked number 7. You and I both have our own opinion on that, but first, Vermillion is ranked inside the top 10. What's your first thoughts about seeing Vermillion make the top 10 immediately?
Well, just based on last year's performance, really not that surprised, but also based on last year's performance, kind of surprised. You know, I was expecting them to be maybe on the lower end, about 9 or 10, and then part of me was maybe not expecting them to be in there at all, but obviously it's a big honor for a lot of these teams. You know, you talk to some coaches and they're just like, you know what, preseason polls are the way they are. There's the polls in general, nothing we can do about them, but there's some teams that take a lot into them, and I don't know if Vermillion or Canton is one of those teams, but it's just one of those interesting things you talk about with preseason polls. A lot of people will just say they're just for talkers, and I am one of them that I agree that they're just for talkers, but good to see them there at the 7th spot.
Sioux Falls Christian number 1, Maipialuta number 2, Hamlin number 3, Dakota Valley number 4, number 5 is Sioux Valley, number 6 is Wagner, clearly one of the best players, if not the best player in Class A, part of that Wagner squad. As we just mentioned, Vermillion comes in at number 7, Mobridge Pollock at number 8, Lennox at number 9, number 10 is Flandreau. Then receiving votes, West Central, Aberdeen Rock-Holly, Clark Willow Lake, St. Thomas More, Groton Area, Mount Vernon Plankinton, Miller, Canton, Lakota Tech, and Pine Ridge. So just throw out the rankings, Cole. What do you think about this class? Is it everyone after Sioux Falls Christian once again when it comes to Class A on the girls' side?
I think so. I mean, you just think about that in general. No matter what school it is, they're the defending champions. So they're always going to be thinking about that. They're always going to have a target on their back. They've already played, 2-3 games this season already, just kind of out-of-state, non-conference games. But they're going to have the big target on their back, and I think another team that a lot of people are going to be chasing is Maipialuta, being the number 2 team. They're going to bring back a good contingent of players, including Ashlyn Carlo Blunt, and even her younger sister. What I've been seeing is she's going to be a really big star, maybe not this year, but in the upcoming seasons for them. And, of course, just any team really out of Region 4A, the DAC-12 in there as well. I mean, they're going to be high contenders in this class. Obviously going to be a very good Class A, as it usually is this year.
When it comes to Class A, we talk about the top 10. Again, preseason polls. Vermillion, it comes in at the number 7 seed. Cole, I know you did put out your votes this past, today to get in there the top 10. Who do you think, though, is the dark horse when it comes to Class A? Maybe the team that obviously it seems like half the state has received some type of vote, so you can't say a dark horse, if you will, but maybe a team right now that we're not paying a lot of attention to that could have a chance of putting the pieces together this year and being the state champion besides Maipialuta and Sioux Falls Christian.
I think one of the teams we're going to be talking about quite a bit this year is the Lennox Orioles, coming out of Region 4A and the DAC-12 as well. They've gotten pretty close to kind of putting all the pieces together. I think they're going to have a strong contingent of players back, bringing in some new talent there as well. I think one team, too, a really young team last season that really showed as they got later into the postseason, but Flandreau, that's sitting there at the number 10. I had them a little bit higher than that. I think they're going to be a very fiery young squad. The younger Shepherd's sister, Claire Shepherd at SDSU, the younger Shepherd there still at Flandreau. She's going to be a very big key in Class A, and I think they're going to be a team to look out for.
You don't have to wait too long for the Lennox-Sioux Falls Christian matchup. It happens on Friday for both a doubleheader on the boys and girls side. One other quick side note, we've been talking about the girls. Quickly taking a look at the boys. Again, they have the top 10 as well. In Class A, Sioux Falls Christian number 1. Number 2 is Lennox. West Central is number 3. Dakota Valley finishes out the top 10. Vermillion, though, is not in the top 10. They are technically, if you will, Cole, counting spots-wise, number 12. They were the second team receiving the most votes in at 21. Jay Drake knows he has a lot that's going to be tough about this Region 4A, but how excited are you to see Jay Drake and his group? A lot of great talent back again this year, getting ready for their season opener on Friday.
I think it's going to be a similar story here between the girls and the boys as you graduate a lot of players, but that's especially on the boys' side, you bring a lot of key talent back, a lot of young guys that maybe didn't get as much playing time last year that they're going to get a much bigger role this year. I think of course, I was just looking through it earlier, but 6 out of the top 12 teams coming out of the DAC 12 does not surprise me in the slightest. It's going to be a tough task for every team, not only just the top ones, not only just Vermillion, but everybody in the region, everybody in the conference. It's going to be tough, and it's going to be an exciting basketball season, that's for sure.
Again, Vermillion is ranked number 7 in the preseason polls, but a lot is unknown about this group of girls and how this season is going to go. Let's step aside to answer more of those questions. Head coach John Brooks comes up next to dive more into his team and what the expectations are. That is on the way next here on Vermillion at Tanagers Live and Live Ticket TV.
When the world feels big, a small note can mean everything. Find mental health support at sdbehavioralhealth.gov.
For healthier crops and stronger yields, count on Nutrien Ag Solutions. By partnering with the leader in plant nutrition, you'll have access to innovative products and unmatched service that deliver impact and efficiency to every acre. Healthier crops, happier growers. Lead the field this season and beyond. Find your local crop consultant at nutrienagsolutions.com.
It's the season opener for the Vermillion Tanager girls basketball team on the road tonight as they take on the Canton Seahawks. Along with Cole Larsch, I'm Heath Nimke. A reminder, fans, the Vermillion boys do not get their season started until later this week when they open up at home against Sioux Falls Lutheran, a Sioux Falls Lutheran team that is certainly really starting to come up through the ranks as they just opened their school a few years ago, and their basketball team is looking very impressive according to the preseason rankings. We'll have to see that game. Looking forward to it all coming up this Friday right here on Vermillion Tanagers Live and Live Ticket TV. But right now, let's focus on the Vermillion girls. We have been talking about their season so far and kind of the expectations going into the year. But right now, let's hear more about the man who holds all those expectations for his team. That is head coach John Brooks. I was able to catch up with him just the other day while out on the road, and he was able to give his perspective on this team, the challenges that they are going to have to go through, and how this opening game against the Canton Seahawks does play in a favorable position for the Vermillion Tanagers. Here he is on our pregame show. It's head coach of the Vermillion Tanager girls, John Brooks. Johnny, get ready for another season of Vermillion girls basketball. It looks like it is going to be a different season than what we have seen in the past few years with this group, as losing a lot of seniors and a lot of young players, not a lot of returners, if you will, for the past couple of years. Taking a look at this season, what is the ultimate outlook to begin with this young group of girls as you get ready for the season?
You know, it's been a while since we've been in this situation. It seems like for the last 5, 6, 7 years, we've just kind of reloaded every year. And brought back experience and all that type of stuff. And obviously this year's going to be a lot different for us. We've lost a lot of kids over the last 2 years. We don't have great numbers in our upperclassmen. We only have 4 upperclassmen out this year. So besides Taylor and Lexi, every other kid that steps on the floor this year for us has never been on a varsity basketball court. So youth, inexperience, all of those things, but kids have really been happy with the first 2 weeks of practice. Kids have worked really hard. Obviously, they're engaged. Probably going to see a little nerves here against Canton, but excited for the year. And you know, these kids have been waiting for a long time to have their chance. Kind of been sitting behind all the girls from the last couple of years. So hope to see a lot of improvement throughout the season.
Yeah, that's going to be my next question. When we talk about Vermillion girls basketball across the entire state, everyone says Taylor Roofers and who? Everyone doesn't really know anybody else that's going to be part of this Vermillion girls basketball team when they look at this year. So who are the names, the numbers that we need to recognize as we get ready for this season?
Yeah, you know, Taylor's going to get a lot of recognition, and deservedly so. She's a terrific basketball player. I think she's the best point guard in the state, and she's only a sophomore and first team All-State last year. You know, she's player of the year of the conference last year, which I don't know, remember last time a freshman was the player of the year in the DAC-12 conference. So she's going to get a lot of attention, and we've been preparing for that. We know that. You know, we bring back Lexi Hansen, who came off our bench last year as a freshman. So those 2 sophomores are kind of our 2 kids back with experience. And then we know we have our 3 seniors out with Sid Johnson, Delaney Smith, and Marasia Warren. So we'll be looking to those 3. Callie Schultz is our lone junior out. She'll bring a good post presence for us, 6'1" inside. And then we have some more sophomores out we're going to be leaning on heavily with Shay Hinseth and Izzy Richardson. So like you said, a lot of new faces. Going to be some nerves early in the year, but some good athletes, and I know these kids are excited for the season.
Over the past 2 years, if you will, maybe even 3 years, you could say, this team has been expected not only to compete for a DAC-12 title, but also a very good chance of making state tournaments. Of course, we saw what happened 2 years ago with winning this state title. As we've discussed already, things are a lot different from where they are 2 years ago to where they're at now. So how do you manage expectations going into this year, knowing that it's not going to be the same as it has been over the past several years?
You know, I think a lot of it is, you know, where you want your program at consistently, and you hope that the things that you do each and every single year, even though these kids haven't played in varsity basketball, they've been in our program and they kind of understand what we do. And that was the first message to our girls. The first practice was, we expect to step on the court and compete and win. And it's always been that way, and these girls know that. And is it going to take some time? Are we going to hit some more bumps in the road this year? Probably. But you know, the point of stepping out on the floor, being prepared, defending, rebounding, all those things that we talk about all the time, understanding how to win games, that stuff doesn't change. So we have told our girls, or as a coaching staff, we know we're going to have to be a little bit more patient. We're going to go through some growing pains, but man, we got 20 games here. You know, by the time February rolls around, we hope that this group grows up quickly and we're ready to compete.
When looking at, before we take a look at Canton, the rest of this region, what teams do you expect to be pretty decent this year and that you really have to focus on when it comes to Region 4A, which we know is the toughest in Class A?
Yeah, and I think we have the best 2 teams in the state right here in our region with Sioux Falls Christian and Lennox. Obviously, Sioux Falls Christian won it last year, and they bring back a lot of kids. Lennox has been young and talented here for a couple years, and their kids are getting older. They're going to be very, very good. Dakota Valley will be very good. You know, obviously the Otten girl is not there, but they still have a lot of talent. Beersford's going to have one of their best teams that they've had in a long time. Some really good seniors there. So no difference in the region, right? Like everybody's just, if you're not a top 5 team in the state, you're not getting out of our region, and that's not going to change again this year.
When you also talk about the region, we look a little bit further ahead in the schedule. One thing that's different from the past couple of years as well, as you're not playing as in many tournaments from across the state, whether it's going to the Corn Palace, playing in the Pentagon, all across the state with those different matchups, those different teams, some of the top echelon teams that you saw over the past couple of years. Are you okay with not necessarily going to all those tournaments and having a little bit more of a consistent weekly schedule with this team?
Well, we wanted to scale back on our classics. We actually wanted to scale back on them last year, but we just couldn't. We couldn't find enough teams to fill our schedule, so we got back in all of them. And so it's nice to get away from some of them. Last 2 years, we played 5 Saturdays in a row in the middle of January and February, and it got to be too much. We like classics. We like to sprinkle them in, but we don't want them every single weekend. So, we've been in the Hanson Classic the last 3 years, and not going back to that one, and got out of the Sacred Hoops Classic, but we were able to pick up the Roundball Classic in Sioux Valley, which will be a new one for us this year. So, like I said, we like those experiences. I think they're really important, but we do have them spaced out a little bit more this year, which will be nice for us.
All right, let's focus a little bit more on the Canton Seahawks. Canton Seahawks girls basketball team historically has not been towards the top when it comes to Region 4A. It seems like there's always different things going on over there in Canton. But when you take a look at it, I know it's hard to scout them. It is the very first game of the season. But what are your expectations going into Game 1 against the Canton Seahawks?
Yeah, they're similar to us. They lost a lot of really good seniors off last year's team, but then also brought back 2 or 3 really good guards. So obviously Jordan Reed is very talented for them. They got Cameron Skiles, who's very good. Those 2 guards are going to do a lot for them. I know they got some young kids that they're excited about as well. So kind of a new roster for them too. I think both our teams are in a very similar situation. We're going to have some kids out there that don't have a ton of experience, and it might look ugly early on until these kids get comfortable, but then hoping to go in there and have a really competitive basketball game with them.
The past 2 weekends, we have had snow. Of course, it hasn't ruined any basketball because we're just getting the season started. Coach, how excited are you to get the basketball season going once again this year?
Yeah, obviously it's a great time of the year. Kids are excited. Community gets excited. You're already starting to walk around and people are starting to talk to you about the season and excited to come to games. So obviously it's my favorite time of the year. So it's, college basketball's been going on for a while. So been watching that. Now our high school seasons are finally getting going. So we've kind of hit that point. We've gone through 2 weeks of practice. Kids are tired of practice against each other. They're ready for a game. So we're ready to roll it out here against Canton and get the season started.
Once again, that is head coach John Brooks, as I caught up with him just the other day while on the road to discuss this season and getting ready for the Canton Seahawks. As we have talked about it all pregame show, this is certainly going to be a much different Vermillion Tanager girls basketball team that we have seen in years past. The only question is, how much more different do they look, and what is the type of test tonight that they play against the Canton Seahawks before they're back on the road in about a week's time against West Central. First home game doesn't come up until December 18th. It's getting closer to tip-off between the Vermillion Tanagers and the Canton Seahawks. Along with Cole Larsch, I'm Heath Nimke. We're going to step aside. When we come back, we'll get you closer to tip-off between the Canton Seahawks and the Vermillion Tanagers. That is on the way next here on Vermillion Tanagers Live and Live Ticket TV.
What's your big picture?
To keep the farm in the family.
To pay off the loan.
To start my own operation.
To drive Grandpa's combine. Right, Grandpa?
If owning a successful operation is in your big picture, First Bank & Trust has ag experts to help you plan for the future.
To diversify.
To teach her how to drive a combine.
Find out how First Bank & Trust makes managing your farm easier at Bank.
It's time for the season opener between the Vermillion Tanagers and the Canton Seahawks here on Live Ticket TV and Vermillion Tanagers Live. Along with Cole Larsch, I'm Heath Nimke. Let's get into our starting 5 for both the Canton Seahawks and the Vermillion Tanagers. We'll begin with the home team first, the Canton Seahawks. Here are your starting 5, including number 3, Kaliana Halverson, the 5'11 senior forward. Number 12, Maya Anderson, the 5'10 8th grade guard. Number 13, Jordan Reed, the 5'11 sophomore forward. Number 21, Gracie Turbs, the 6'1 junior center. And number 23, Aubrey Drumeyer, the 5'6 junior guard for the Canton Seahawks, coached by Andrew Stephenson along with Rich Lundstrom and Atlanta DeYoung. For the Vermillion Tanagers, the starting five tonight will be number 4, Izzy Richardson, the 5'5 sophomore guard. Number 10, Lexi Hansen, the 5'10 sophomore guard. Number 11, Taylor Rivers, the 5'5 sophomore guard. Number 22, Shea Hinseth, the 5'10 sophomore forward. And number 44, Callie Schultz, the 6'1 junior center. Of course, head coach John Brooks, along with assistant coaches Doug Hansen, Carrie Jensen, and Kelly Knutson, along with Gage Plummer, will be the assistant coaches for tonight. Again, both teams come in undefeated, 0-0. It is the season opener. The Vermillion girls come in preseason ranked number 7. And let's see how they do tonight. Along with Cole Larsch, I'm Heath Nimke. The Vermillion Tanagers in their traditional away uniforms, all red. The Canton Seahawks in their all white uniforms. The opening tap is controlled by the Canton Seahawks, and we are underway in the season opener as it's controlled early with Aubrey. As she passes it off over to Anderson. Anderson, who is stuck now in the corner. Back to the top they go. It's a three-pointer straight away. This one is off the mark, but it's an offensive board, but Taylor Rivers fights and steals it away. And here comes one of the top guard. You ask some coaches across the state of South Dakota, they would say she is the number 1 guard in Class A as they swing it around the perimeter. Otherwise, getting used to a few other names out there, getting their first varsity minutes. As Rivers has it in the corner, she'll shoot the 3. This one is off the mark. Fighting for the rebound and pulling it down is Schultz, and back out they go with Rivers. Rivers drives, now kicks out to Lexi Hansen, but it's going to be tipped away quickly the opposite way, off the glass, and good for 2 is Maya Anderson. And the Canton Seahawks get the scoring started first against the Vermillion Tanagers. And it's now full court press, but Vermillion easily breaks it up to Schultz, who took a big step there, and she traveled, and it will be a turnover for the Vermillion Tanagers. Cole, assessment in the first 60 seconds for the Vermillion Tanagers.
Very fast start. I don't think this is exactly how they wanted to draw it up, but I think what we're going to see now from both these teams, little full court pressure, kind of get both of these rosters that maybe aren't as familiar with themselves moving a little bit quicker here in the first quarter.
Again, 2 young teams. Both teams only have 1 senior on their squad. Off shot, rebounded, back out, three-pointer for Anderson is good. Maya Anderson has all 5 points for the Canton Seahawks, a girls basketball team that was receiving votes in the preseason poll. They lead early here against the Vermillion Tanagers, 5-0. Rivers passed a couple defenders. Schultz was wide open, and this time she's able to connect. Callie Schultz has the first points for the Vermillion Tanager girls basketball team this season, and it's 5-2. She's going to go underneath the hoop, pass back out, stolen away by Rivers. She'll go end-to-end, get by Anderson, and off the glass, and good for 2. Vermillion on a modest 4-0 run. They draw it within 1, 5-4, 5:55 first quarter.
Second steal already for Rivers, who came in averaging 5 steals a game last season.
Spin layup is off the mark, but it's another offensive board. And Cole, with the size of the Vermillion Tanagers, the biggest girl they have out there of Callie, who stands at 6'1", otherwise a very small lineup, something we haven't seen compared to years past from this Vermillion squad.
And it's going to be an adjustment they're going to have to make because every team they play this season is going to have a really good post player.
Rivers from the free throw line, the jumper's up and good. She now has 4 points already in this first quarter, and it's the first lead as well for the Vermillion girls basketball team. 6-5, 5:27 first quarter. At the top of the key, it's controlled with Anderson. The simple bounce pass to Halverson. Over now to Gracie. She'll take the shot. This one off the mark and rebounded by Rivers. Won to press it quickly into front court, and now will bring it across the C logo herself. Rivers, the free throw line. Off balance shot missed, but it's an easy O-board back up, and this one is just off the mark for Richardson, but Callie Schultz trying to make a pass back out. Some fans wanted a foul call, nothing doing. Quickly, the opposite way come the Canton Seahawks. Off the glass, and good for two is Halverson. End-to-end basketball. Neither team has seen a foul called yet in this basketball game. It's 7-6, 4:44 first quarter. And now, the first time tonight, the Tanagers can't break the full court press. Rivers is fighting for it. Jump ball called. Possession arrow favors Vermillion, and the Tanagers in the end, after losing it in the backcourt, will get it back courtesy of a jump ball.
Combined 5 steals already between these two teams.
So it'll be Richardson to inbound it. Quick substitution as Aubrey will check out of the basketball game, and York will check in for the Canton Seahawks. Trying to force it into Rivers, and this one is stolen away by Gracie. Back out, York will shoot the three-pointer and knock it down. Jayla York, the first bench points for either team. Now, for the Canton Seahawks, they only have 2, according to their varsity roster, that come off the bench. They have a lot more than that, though. They're just not on this varsity roster. They do have a full plethora of girls to go to. And now York will commit the foul, picking up the first foul of the basketball game. Non-shooting foul committed against Lexi Hansen. 10-6, 4:09 first quarter. Quickly get it into Hansen, who put it off the glass, couldn't get the go. Tip back out, as she'll get the rebound, goes up strong. And she'll head to the free throw line. And Cole, you can certainly see Lexi Hansen with that varsity playing time experience.
Yeah, just the experience of once you get an open opportunity, just take it to the rim. Done a really good job of that so far in this first quarter.
Free throw is off the mark. Foul was committed by Jordan Reed, picking up again her first personal, second team foul. Reminder in high school, 5 fouls each quarter before we hit bonus. Second free throw off the mark, but it's another offensive board for the Vermillion Tanagers. Lexi Hansen over to Richardson. Already 5 offensive boards for the Vermillion Tanagers. Richardson bounce pass down to Rivers. Rivers inside to Lexi Hansen. She battles in tough. Can't get the go off the glass. She has yet to find the bottom of the barrel here in this first quarter. Gracie has it back out as the Canton Seahawks control it offensively. Takes up the dribble, just throws it in. It's going to be an easy steal for Lexi Hansen. Give it over to Rivers. Pump fake one way. Keep it with the right-handed dribble to Richardson. Back out to Rivers, who will shoot the deep three, knock it down. Taylor Rivers already 7 points in this first quarter. Trailing by 1, the Vermillion Tanagers 10-9, 3:10 first quarter. Gracie trying to call out some commands. In the lane, they go with it. Foul called. And the bucket is good. Count the bucket. That time for the Canton Seahawks and Halverson. And it was an and 1, so she'll head to the free throw line. The foul committed against Hinseth, her first personal, and the first team foul. We'll see a couple substitutions for the Vermillion Tanagers as Marissa Warren will check into the ball game. We'll also see Schmidt come into the ball game as well. The N1 opportunity off the mark. Want to go underneath to Gracie, and it will go out of bounds. 12-9, 2:58 first quarter. And it'll be Canton Seahawks with a full court press against the Vermillion Tanagers once again. Rivers into the front court, pick up the dribble, kick back out. And they're going to say a foul against the Canton Seahawks. Foul will go against York. So now York off the bench picks up her second personal, third team foul. And they're going to have to make some adjustments, the Canton Seahawks, as they'll bring Aubrey back into the game and York will come out. Cole, you like York shoes? The purple and gold, 2 different colors.
Don't get me started.
You probably like those colors, representing your Minnesota Vikings. Turnover. Quick 3 the opposite way for the Canton Seahawks. This one's off the mark and goes out of bounds. Minnesota Vikings haven't had the best of seasons this year.
You must not have watched last week. We're back.
Did pick up a nice 31-0 victory over the Commanders yesterday. Vermillion in the front court, underneath the hoop, and a quick foul call. No, it's going to be a travel committed against Warren. Cole, Vermillion's had some open looks underneath the hoop, just haven't necessarily been able to convert so far tonight.
Yeah, it's just the signs of a young team. You get your open opportunities. Now we're going to, anyway, finish my original thought. Just a sign of a young team having a lot of opportunities. Just got to find a couple to get into the ball game and go into the hoop and kind of get yourself a little offensive momentum. Now we're going to discuss how much time should be on the shot clock.
It is at 32. The Seahawks just came in possession, so we're talking about a couple seconds off. The way this one has gone so far in this first quarter, neither team has really had to worry about the shot clock. It has been a lot of quick shots and just trying to make some basketball happen. Take off 2 seconds. And in the end, it doesn't even matter. Ruvers quickly opposite way. It looked like she had her shot blocked, but a reach and foul. That will go against the Canton Seahawks, and Anderson picking up her first personal and the 4th team foul, and it will send Rivers to the free throw line, try to draw it within 1. Vermillion so far 0 of 2 from the charity stripe, make it 0 for 3 tonight. Cole, if Vermillion would happen to lose, that certainly would be a talking point. Hinseth will come out. Sydney Johnson, 5'5" senior guard, will come in for the Vermillion Tanagers. Also York, who has that's Halverson will come in for the Canton Seahawks, replacing Gracie. Second free throw is good for Ruvers. She has 8 in the ball game. Callie Schultz, the only other player to score for the Vermillion Tanagers as they trail by 2. Back out, the quick 3. Another one off the mark for the Canton Seahawks as they have not been able to really hit from deep. An offensive board high off the glass. This was a barn on the farm. That one might have fallen through, but with the glass here inside a high school gym, too much of a bounce. Schmidt will go underneath to Warren, patrolling the baseline, almost loses it. Now a jump ball is going to be called. Possession arrow favors the Canton Seahawks. With 1:46 remaining in this first quarter, the inconsistency for both teams, Cole, you kind of expected it for game 1.
Yeah, you got to remember it's the first game for everybody, especially this Tanager roster that, again, no matter how much you practice together in the offseason, it always takes a couple games to get a little bit of gel.
A wide open 3, that one is off the mark this time for the Canton Seahawks and Nora. And now a pass that Warren wasn't there, and it will go out of bounds. Again, we talk about possessions, and your team really able to string together long possessions. It always seems like it's quick turnovers as well.
Combined 12 so far.
Which is combined 22 points. So almost for every bucket we've seen a turnover at least. Speaking of another turnover, Rivers stole it away, but couldn't convert on the layup. Quickly, the opposite direction. Shot could be blocked away by Alexi Hansen. What's going up with a shot there was Nora, but it will stay with the Canton Seahawks. 70 seconds remaining in this first quarter. Quick inbound to the top of the key. Now go underneath the wide open. Ruvers from behind blocks it away though. Ruvers getting hustled and hassled in the backcourt. Finally breaks free. Kicks over to Alexi Hansen. Around the perimeter they swing it. Schmidt will take the deep 3, this one off the mark. Rebounded by Reed. Lobs it up. Going to the hoop, this one can't fall, but it's offensive rebound by Gracie as she was pushed from behind, as it was just Johnson, undersized in there, trying to make something happen. So Gracie will head to the free throw line. Just the second team foul against the Vermillion Tanagers, and again, it does reset after each quarter. Gracie hits the first free throw. Her first point of the game. We'll see Hinseth come back into the ball game. Also Richardson back in as Johnson and Schmidt will take a spot off. 13-10, 38.7 remaining in the first quarter. Gracie to shoot the second free throw. This one is up and can't get the friendly roll, but it's an offensive rebound. Quick three back out. This one off the back of the iron. Roovers with the rebound. The shot clock is off. Vermillion can hold for the last second shot, but the way this first quarter has gone for their group, they haven't really been worried more about the shot clock. But Roofers is trying to slow the pace down. So right now the best Vermillion can do is tie it up at the end of quarter one. More specifically though, they're just looking for a bucket. Roofers is going to get fouled. It is the 5th foul as well, so it'll be Roofers to the free throw line. The foul against Nora, picking up her first personal. Again, York off the bench is the only one in foul trouble in the first quarter. For the Canton Seahawks, she picked up 2. First free throw is good for Roofers. Cool, you like to see Roofers scoring, but certainly need some help offensively from the rest of the platoon.
Yeah, and everybody else will get settled in as this game goes on.
Roofers, double digits already, 10 points for her in this first quarter. 13-12, it's a turnover in the backcourt. Roofers off the glass and good for 2. And quickly, we see 4 points in the last 9 seconds from the Vermillion Tanagers, and they take the lead 14-13 as we go to quarter number 2 against the Canton Seahawks. The second quarter comes up in 60 seconds here on Live Ticket TV.
Easy.com.
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services.
Life can get pretty busy out there. Daily commutes, carpooling, and then there's that weekend getaway. Cenex is here to keep your vehicle fueled up for those long drives, your pantry stocked for those snack cravings, and the propane grill ready whenever you are. Things can move fast, but with your local Cenex, you can rest assured that everything on your list will get a checkmark, all in a day's work, powered locally at Cenex.
(14-13) after quarter number 1. The Vermillion Tanagers lead it over the Canton Seahawks. Cole, your thoughts on that first quarter and what we saw from the Vermillion Tanagers?
Well, I'd love to give you my thoughts if I could hear myself think. I mean, kind of what we all expected from this first game of the season. Just got to let everybody get all settled in, get a little bit of a little more controlled offensive pace. I think they'll settle in just fine.
Hinseth with the opening shot of the second quarter missed, trying to work it underneath the Canton Seahawks. And it's going to be stolen away. Again, we've seen some open opportunities underneath the hoop for the Vermillion Tanagers. Roofers with a deep 3, this one off the mark. Opposite side, though, Vermillion has done a great job defensively underneath the hoop to eliminate anything for the Canton Seahawks. Bounce pass, back out. Now on the corner, drive in, this one off the mark. That time for Halverson. And then a whistle in the backcourt that will go against the Canton Seahawks. Again, as a team picked up 5 team fouls in quarter number 1. Foul called on Halverson. Be her first personal of the ball game. Rivers over to Richardson again. Rivers had 12 points in quarter number 1. Deep 3, knocks it down. And Rivers already 15 points in the ball game out of the 17. Again, Callie Schultz scored the first 2 points for the Vermillion Tanagers. Otherwise, it's been 15 straight by Taylor Roofers. Jumper is up and good that time for Aubrey, picking up her first points of the ball game. It's been more dynamic scoring from the Canton Seahawks. as no one has more than 5 points of Maya Anderson, who picked up the first 5 points for the Canton Seahawks. And in the front court, Anderson. Rivers guarding her closely. Still Anderson. Passes it off to Reed. Press being on, and then Richardson reaches in, and they say it's a foul on Richardson. So Izzy picks up her first personal and the first team foul of this second quarter. Good defense there until the latter portion. Giving up the foul. Now bounce pass in the lane, off the front of the iron, and rebounded. 17-15. Just 2 points so far for the Canton Seahawks. A three-pointer by Taylor Roofer is the only scoring that we've seen for either team in this second quarter. Down to Schultz. She tried to force a pass quickly. And now Richardson reaches in again, picks up her second personal immediately. As John Brooks paces up and down the sidelines. This is looking to his bench. And he'll bring in a player he hasn't brought in yet, and that will be the 8th grader, Tessa Nelson. Get her first varsity playing time of the season. Coming to the front court now, Anderson. Quick pass, a quick three. And Cole, Canton Seahawks, they try to figure out something else offensively. Just constant quick threes have not worked for them yet tonight.
I think you could argue that with both these teams. The quick offenses have not been their strong suits, and I think that's not what you get through this first game. Neither team has quite found their rhythm through a quarter and a half.
Again, Canton Seahawks have only hit 1 3. They are 1 of 8 from deep so far. Now turnover, but given right back to the Vermillion Tanagers. Again, both teams just trying to find their consistency, and their deep three by Roovers. This one off the mark, puts an offensive board. Lexi Hansen fouled as she drives hard, and she'll head to the free throw line to shoot 2, where she is 0 of 2 so far this evening. So looking for her first points of the night.
Story of both these teams so far has been their offensive rebounding. 13 combined offensive rebounds between these two teams.
And we'll see Lexi miss her 3rd free throw. 17-15. The way the foul was on Halverson, picking up her 2nd personal for the Canton Seahawks. The first free throw is good for Lexi Hansen. Of course, longtime assistant coach Doug Hansen back with head coach John Brooks once again. No really changes for all these assistant coaches who have been riding with this team for quite some time. Great assist by Roovers underneath to Callie Schultz. And Schultz has scored in both quarters. 4 points for her in the basketball game. 20-15. Quick three once again. This one goes out of bounds. Nice job by Callie as well. Saw she wasn't going to get to it. Just let it go out of bounds. Nicole Callie Schultz certainly going to be one of the big players to watch underneath for the Vermillion Tanagers this season.
Yeah, going to have her hands full in a lot of games, that's for sure. When you get to start getting more into region play, DAC-12 play, and list every team in the DAC-12, they've got a really dominant post player.
A deep three, and this one knocks down for Hinseth. Shea, her first points of the season is a three-pointer. And now we have seen 4 different Tanagers score in this second quarter, and Gracie the opposite way hits a big 3 for the Canton Seahawks. Or excuse me, their foot was on the line. So just a 2-pointer, and now opposite way, Hinseth is feeling it as she hits back-to-back threes. 26-17. And now shot quickly by Anderson with a foul called, Jordan Reed. She'll head to the free throw line. But I'd like to see that, Cole, from Hinseth as she just finally found her groove and hitting a couple big threes.
Yeah, found her spot out in the court. lot of these players have their favorite spots to shoot from. That one might be Hinseth's favorite after this game.
Nelson with the foul called on her. Second free throw is good from Reed. She hit them both. Has 2 points in the ball game, 26-19. Now, other wing three-pointer. This one's off the mark, but Hinseth in there trying to fight for the rebound. And Cole, we talk about what you see from these players. It felt like Hinseth just needed maybe a little bit of a quarter to wake up, and she has been flying around so far in this second quarter.
Yeah, you talk about a lot of these players with no varsity experience. That's just how long it takes for them to kind of get used to the pace of a varsity game against a team not your own.
And you expect Shea to be a big contributor to this season against sophomore, and she's only going to grow over the next couple of years for this group as well. Deep three, this one's off the mark for Gracie. It's going to be rebounded by Schultz. Rivers across the C logo. 26-19, 3:18 second quarter. Hansen goes up with a shot, this one off the mark, rebounded by the Canton Seahawks. And they come the opposite way with Anderson. Tries to go to the corner, takes deflection on its way through, and it goes out of bounds, and it'll be out for inbound along the baseline for the Canton Seahawks. To inbound it will be Anderson. Quickly get it into York. Back out to Gracie. There's a find the cutting Reed, who tries to force up the shot, blocked away. 19 seconds on the shot clock. So it did go out of bounds. Last touch by the Vermillion Tanagers, who will stay with the Canton Seahawks. So underneath the basket once again, Reed to trigger the inbound. She'll kick it deep to Reed. Leaves the three-pointer off the front of the iron and rebounded by Schultz. 26-19, 2:50 second quarter. Rivers, they quickly move it around. Inside to Hansen, goes up with her left hand and gets it to go. Alexi Hansen, 3 points, all coming in this second quarter, 28-19. Feels like here in that last minute of the first quarter in this second quarter, Vermillion's really found their spot. They got Gracie Turbs the other way. Hits her three-pointer. She has 6 points in the ball game, and a quick timeout, what is called. Again, it's a Monday night here in the state of South Dakota, so Cole, we can't really talk about a whole lot of basketball that is going on when it comes across Class A, as there's only about 4 other games going on within the class. But yet, looking ahead, back in action. 8 days from tonight, the Vermillion Tanagers girls basketball team taking on West Central. The next action, though, we'll see will be the Vermillion boys basketball team as they're at home against Sioux Falls Lutheran. We'll have all the coverage from inside the birdcage right here on Live Ticket TV and Vermillion Tanagers Live. Again, the timeout called by head coach John Brooks, using his first of 2 30s in the ball game. 28-22, 2:20 second quarter. Passing around the perimeter, inside the lane, back out. As Schmidt is on there. The last break. Rivers missed shot. Rebounded by Anderson. Maya will go into in, but her shot blocked away from behind. But they do say foul against the Vermillion Tanagers, and the foul called against Rivers, picking up her first personal and the 4th team foul. And it will send Anderson to the free throw line, who scored the first 5 points for the Canton Seahawks, has not scored since then. As I say that, knocks down the first free throw. She has 6 in the ball game. Second free throw is up and good as well. Anderson is the leading scorer for the Canton Seahawks with 7 points here in the ball game. 28-24, Canton, after 1 point being down at 28-17. It's gone on a 7-0 run. Warren up with her jumper, off the mark. Reed Try to force something inside, and a foul is called. And Cole is starting to see the Canton Seahawks really start to attack the inside of the paint and draw fouls on the Vermillion Tanagers.
Yeah, I think that's been one of the big key talkers out of the last couple of timeouts for head coach Andrew Stephenson, is especially when Schultz isn't out there on the court for the Tanagers. They have a really big size advantage, and Canton really wanted to take advantage of that advantage.
Reed misses the second free throw, hit the first, but draws it back within a one-possession game for the Canton Seahawks. 28-25. Again, the score at one point was 28-17. The Vermillion up by 11. The Canton Seahawks have gone on an 8-0 run to draw it within 3. Roovers up with a difficult shot, misses. Fight underneath. Turbs is going to get the rebound for the Canton Seahawks. Quick bullet pass up ahead. Anderson kicks out to the corner. Three-pointer is off the mark. Fight for the rebound underneath the hoop is Roovers. 60 seconds remaining. Quickly up to Lexi Hansen, but has her shot partially blocked. Contact made though on Reed, picking up her second personal. Third team foul, and it will send Hansen to the free throw line. Has had a little bit of difficulty from the charity stripe tonight, where she's just 1 of 4. First free throw is up, and this one is off the heel of the iron. Again, the Canton Seahawks back in action coming up on Friday night as they travel down to Oak Point to take on the Oak Point Jefferson Huskies. Second free throw is good for Lexi Hansen, who has 4 points in the ball game. 29-25, under a minute remaining. Pick up the dribble, and then a turnover for the Canton Seahawks. Chance for the Vermillion Tanagers to extend this 4-point lead. Schmidt over to Roovers, the volleyball line, drives in, trying to get it underneath to Warren, and they'll have it knocked out of bounds. It will stay, though, with the Vermillion Tanagers. 29-25, 35.6. Roovers will trigger the inbound at the top of the key. Around the perimeter they go. Schmidt at the top to Lexi, to Roovers, who will take the three, knocks down Taylor Roovers, her second three of the second quarter. 18 points for her in the ball game. 32-25. Final 10 seconds. The drive in, shot blocked away by Warren. Canton Seahawks get it back, try to force up a difficult shot. Offensive rebound, Turbs back out to Anderson. Three-pointer, good. Huge three there from Maya Anderson to end the half. And with it, it draws it in within a 4-point game. 32-28. After quarter number 1, Vermillion had a 14-13 lead. They extended to 3 extra points. And again, lead at halftime 32-28, courtesy of Taylor Roovers' 18 points at halftime. Coming up at half, we'll take a look at the first half scoring. Talk a little bit more with Cole Larsch on his takeaway from the first half and get you set for the second half. That is all on the way next here on Vermillion Tanagers Live and Live Ticket TV.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Best Western Ramkota Hotel in Aberdeen is the place to stay for business or the weekend family getaway. You'll feel right at home with ample parking, spacious guest rooms, and complimentary breakfast. And with a convenient location, you'll have easy access to local attractions and events in the area. While staying at the Best Western Ramkota, guests can enjoy an indoor water play land, an on-site Minerva's restaurant, exercise facility, wedding services, and a business center. For friendly service and a great stay, make your reservation today.
Farming today requires constant adjustment, innovation, and the right seed, and you'll find that with Pioneer Seed at Dakota Seed and Services in Irene and Vermillion. With the most advanced technologies and local experts, Dakota Seed and Service share in your hard work on the farm, adapting to an ever-changing industry. When you need the right seed, protection, and service, make it Dakota Seed and Services in Irene and Vermillion. (32-28) at halftime between the 7th-ranked Vermillion Tanagers taking on the Canton Seahawks, who were receiving votes in the preseason polls. Talked about it during our pregame show. Live teams receiving votes. Of course, one of the new things that the South Dakota high school media is doing is top 10 teams in both Class A and Class B, both the girls and the boys side. Again, Vermillion comes in ranked number 7. But at halftime, all that matters is the score. The Vermillion Tanagers lead 32-28. Taking a look at the first half scoring, leading the way for both teams, Taylor Roovers with 18 points. Shea Hinseth with 6 points, including 2 big three-pointers in the second quarter. Lexi Hansen and Callie Schultz both with 4 points apiece. Nobody else has scored for the Vermillion Tanagers. Leading the way for the Canton Seahawks, Maya Anderson with 9 points, 6 points for Gracie Turbs, and then 4 points for Halverson. 3 points apiece for York and Reed, and Aubrey has 2 points for the Canton Seahawks. Again, both teams come in with no games underneath their belt, but this is a Region 4A and also a DAC 12 matchup as well. Again, halftime score 32-28. I'm Heath Nimke, along with my broadcast partner, Cole Larsch. Cole, let's begin the takeaway from this first half. 4-point game, but it's kind of what you expected this game to be.
Yeah, I think that's exactly how I'd put it. I think that's kind of what the expectations were kind of coming into this game. You know, when we got here and saw that, seeing throughout the day that Canton's only got 7 on their varsity roster, and more on their bench, but that's all I have in their listed roster and their printout. Tanagers bringing back 2 players with varsity experience. It's kind of what we expected, and so far in that first and second quarter, I mean, really offensively, this is kind of what we expected from the Vermillion Tanagers. Is, like you said, Taylor Roovers, big shooter so far, 18 points, but also 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 5 steals, and a block to go in there as well to kind of round out her score, or round out her stats, but also distributing the ball really well to some shooters around the outside. Hinseth, Callie Schultz with some points as well. So kind of Roovers heavy as we expected offensively, but defensively, I think they've done a really good job. And when Canton kind of had that little bit of a comeback there in that second quarter that forced the John Brooks timeout, is they were doing a really good job of pushing the tempo and then working it inside. 2 things that they saw that the Tanagers were struggling with defending in that first quarter. I think both these head coaches are going to have a lot of things to tweak coming out of this halftime break. But, I mean, this is what we expected. That's, I think, the most accurate statement of the year so far. Just both these teams, younger squads, a little bit more inexperienced on the varsity side, but working the feelers out. And so far, Tanagers with the 4-point advantage, I think, is really good for them. Boosts a lot of confidence. They've seen a lot of players that haven't gotten experience with some good scoring in there as well. So I think overall a solid half.
We'll talk about Taylor Rivers, her 18 points, kind of expected. But so far, in the first 16 minutes of this season, who has been the most exciting Vermillion girls basketball player besides Taylor Rivers that you've seen on the court?
I think so far, just all around, it's been Lexi Hansen. I mean, she's had a lot of opportunities, just haven't quite seen one go in. Majority of her points so far being from that free throw line. Had some opportunities there. She'd love to get those opportunities back, but I mean, it's just one of those where I wish I had my iPad connected so I could start drawing up what the Tanagers are doing really well offensively. Is once they're able to slow down, you really don't hear a lot of times people say this, but if you allow Canton to get set up in their zone, which they have been a couple of possessions, then they're really good at spreading the ball around, finding the open pass, and working towards the open shot. Then when they're kind of out of rotation, you see, and speeding themselves up a lot, that's when you start to see where their offense has started to struggle a little bit. So, I mean, if you just slow down a little bit, kind of get into some more set plays that you're comfortable running, I think we're going to see a really good structured Vermillion offense here early in this third quarter, because I believe that's what John Brooks is saying out of the break right now. And the same thing over for the Seahawks as well. They had a stretch where they were only shooting open threes. None of them were going in. Then they started to attack, and they started to get that little comeback that forced the Brooks timeout. I think they're going to continue some of that here in the second half.
If you're making a comeback for the Canton Seahawks, we see Amaya Anderson with 9 points in the first quarter. Who needs to lead the way for Canton to make this comeback and get a key victory to open up their season?
I think it's going to have to be through Anderson and just the veteran presence of Halverson kind of coming through. I mean, they were their leaders in the first half. I think they just keep on working through that. Again, one thing they've been really successful at when they are able to is just able to spread the ball around, get the offense moving, almost allow the defense to get set. That's when they've been best for both of these teams. Again, very rarely do you ever say that, but I think it would benefit both these teams if everybody just took a notch down on the speed, just kind of slowed things around a little bit and got a little bit more methodical on the offensive side. I think you'd see a much better basketball game.
32-28 as we head to the second half, along with myself, Heath Nimke, Cole Larsch. I have you covered for Vermillion basketball throughout the season. You potentially, if you're a big fan of high school hoops from across the state of South Dakota, you'll be hearing Cole Larsch and I plenty this season. I think we're on pace for to do over 100 games this season combined between the two of us. So we got
combined easily.
Got a lot of different irons in the fires, a lot of different tournaments that you and I will be a part of. Looking forward to it. But Cole, you're looking forward to Friday night and seeing what Jay Drake has to bring out with his squad.
It's always fun, you know, the season openers. You talk about kind of maybe one of the more exciting starts this season, at least in the Vermillion area for the boys team, is, you know, obviously everybody knows you graduated a lot of great seniors, but you also, there's been a lot of talk about these really good young players for this Tanager boys squad. And it's going to be how they come out and play, how they show up. And Sioux Falls Lutheran, too, one of the better stories across the state of South Dakota. Just their second year having a football team. I mean, they made it 2 rounds into the playoffs, something nobody really expected. And a lot of those same athletes playing along the basketball team as well. They're going to be a good test early for Vermillion, kind of the litmus test, as some might say, early in the season.
Yeah, if you ask head coach Jay Drake, no game is going to be easy this season. Of course, we'll get to all that coming up this Friday inside the Birdcage. But if you can't make the Birdcage, we'll have all the coverage right here on Live Ticket TV and Vermillion Tanagers Live as we're underway to start the third quarter as that wraps up halftime. Again, 32-28 as we begin the second half and see a quick turnover and a quick foul against the Vermillion Tanagers already, as a foul is called against Lexi Hansen, picking up her first personal. And again, fouls reset after each quarter.
That's going to be a big key this season for the Tanagers as well, as Talk about a lot of inexperience. Don't want to get yourself into foul trouble, especially with your only 2 experienced players, because then you're putting yourself really in a hole. Haven't seen it today, but just something we got to look for the rest of the season.
Turbs will shoot the 3. She hit a couple in that second quarter. And now foul underneath as you talk about foul trouble. Already 30 seconds in, and Vermillion has picked up 2 team fouls. It's on Callie Schultz picking up her first personal. No one is in foul trouble besides Izzy Richardson, who has 2. But again, does send Canton Seahawks to free throw line, where Reed will hit another one. She's gotten all 4 points tonight from the charity stripe, and she's able to hit the second free throw as well. 5 points for her in the ball game, and it draws it within 2 for the Canton Seahawks. 32-30, 7:22. So less than a minute into this second half. Already seen Vermillion turnover in 2 fouls they have given up. Rivers in the corner trying to go the rainbow pass to the opposite side. Hinseth almost lost it, but then forces the quick turnover. Here comes the opposite way. Canton Seahawks give it right back, and then saving it. Couple different players hopping around the ground, and then Coach Andrew Stephenson was calling for a timeout immediately as his team had a quick possession of the basketball before they lost it. Jeff Larson, the official, grants the timeout. So it'll be the first timeout used by the Canton Seahawks. 32-30 is 6:58 third quarter. Getting a lot of scores to report as well, as it is Monday night. Not quite the opener for girls basketball. That got underway this past Friday. Did see also one team already pick up 2 wins this season, as Sioux Falls Christian opened up their season down in Kansas, down in Tipton. Beat Convoy and also Osmondton Catholic from Kentucky in 2 close games. 32-30, 6:58. Pass. Rivers gets it tipped, stolen away. Opposite direction. Rivers able to convert 20 points for her in the basketball game, 34-30.
Steal number 6 as well for Rivers.
Could see plenty of triple doubles from her this season. Cohen might even have a rare quadruple double from her. Watch out for it. Rivers, quick 3, knocks it down. Taylor Rivers. 5 points already in this third quarter, 23 for her in the ball game. More specifically, though, opens it up to a 7-point lead for the Vermillion Tanagers over the Canton Seahawks after the first 30 seconds. Started off a little questionable for the Vermillion Tanagers. Then underneath, Rivers had her feet out of bounds as she made contact with the basketball. And it'll be Canton Seahawk basketball underneath the hoop, 19 seconds on the shot clock. Quick inbound, quick jumper, off the mark. And this one, over the back. Easy foul call there. Gets Reed picking up her third personal, first team foul.
One thing Canton also has to avoid in the second half is staying out of foul trouble. Reed with 3, 2 more with 2. You know, when you're only playing 7 player rotation, fouls can be a big key.
Rivers to the top with Richardson. Back over to Rivers, underneath to Schultz, down the block. Goes up too strong off the glass. And then a rebounding foul against Lexi Hansen, quickly picking up her second personal. Third team foul. Chloe, you have a feeling that John Brooks said play a little bit more aggressive, and we have certainly seen his team do that, picking up more fouls here in this third quarter.
It's possible. Also notice they've been a lot more methodical on the offensive side. Maybe they had the game up in the locker room, but running a lot of set plays offensively here in the second half are the Tanagers.
A drive down to the block, scoop layup off the mark. Rebounded, but then given quickly away. There's a forced pass that time by Nelson. They lost possession by the Canton Seahawks with a foul called. And Anderson will have the foul called against her, picking up her second personal in the second team foul.
And also officially goes down as the 7th steal for Roovers in the game.
Roovers across the C logo, quickly over to Richardson, who has not scored here yet in the game. She has it, top of the key, keeping her dribble alive, looking for some help. Back over to Roovers, bailing her out. Bounce pass underneath. Hansen has her shot blocked away. Stifling defense by the Canton Seahawks. But now press in the backcourt. We saw Canton Seahawks bring full court press in the first 90 seconds or so in this game, have not ran it since, as Vermillion kept breaking it. 37-30, 4:50, third quarter. Underneath the Schultz, and blocked from behind, but contact with the backhand by Reed, picking up now her 4th, third team foul, and she's gonna have to come out of this game. But it will send Callie Schultz to the free throw line. First free throw is up and good for Schultz, who has 5 points.
Banks open.
York will come in and replace Reed, who's a big piece of the offense to be missing right now, but again, she has 4. She'll be on the bench for the remaining 4:46 of this third quarter. She not only lobs or puts one off the glass, but then lobs one in as Schultz is able to hit both free throws. 6 points for her in the ball game. She'll take a spot on the bench for a breather. 39-30. The biggest lead has been 11 in the second quarter for the Vermillion Tanagers. And now, in between the legs of Aubrey with her hand out of bounds, lost possession for the Canton Seahawks. Great job defensively by Richardson to fight for it for the Vermillion Tanagers. Again, 39-30. Vermillion trying to open this one up a little bit more against the Canton Seahawks. Rivers pass over to Richardson, to Lexi, to Hinseth, who's hit 2 threes. This one off the mark. Rebounded by Warren. And Warren is just having quick feet. Second time that we have seen her have a travel called underneath. And just moving her feet slightly. As the official saw it. And it will give a turnover. Canton Seahawks with the basketball. 39-30, 4:15. Bounce pass, almost lost it, was Halverson. Halverson got the open look and will drive. Foul called against Warren. And Halverson will head to the free throw line. Warren picking up her first personal foul of the basketball game.
Now already the 4th team foul. We've seen 7 combined here, not even halfway through the third quarter. What was a quicker moving first half. Probably going to slow down a little bit with all the free throws here in the second.
First free throw is off the mark for Halverson. Halverson, 4 points, scored all in the first quarter. Second free throw. This one, dead off the back of the iron and falls through. 39-31, halfway through this third quarter. Richardson moving it around. Hansen forces a bad pass, but giving right back up. And now Vermillion has a break on. Hinseth, wide open jumper off the mark. Roovers trying to fight for the rebound. Canton Seahawks come down with it, but they give it right back up. Everyone kind of on the ground, gathers themselves. Three-pointer off the mark for Roovers. And rebounded by Maya Anderson. And Elaine back out. Turbs the three-pointer, knocks it down. Gracie, another big three. She's been able to hit from deep. She has 9 points in the ball game, and it brings it within 5 points. Richardson. Rivers, the drive, shot blocked away, and then goes out of bounds. 39-34, 2:53, third quarter. Quickly into Hansen, who is wide open. Can't get the shot to go. Quickly, Anderson will go the length of the court and off the glass and good for two. Anderson hits double figures. She has the 11. Quickly opposite way, Warren is wide open. Her first points of the season. And it's a big answer by the Vermillion Tanagers, 41-36. Halverson, the drive, the kick out, three-pointer. This one off the mark. Rebounded by Roovers. Vermillion at one point, a 9-point lead in this third quarter. Lead by 5 at the moment. Hansen over to Roovers. To Hinseth. Down underneath to Warren, who tried to force it up. And Cole for Warren, she just has to get a little bit more settled in this game at times. She's got a little bit too quick.
That's what happens when you got a young team. Just takes a little bit of time to settle in. As a team, done a much better job, and we're going to get a full timeout called by Canton.
Timeout by Andrew Stephenson. We'll step aside. We're back in 60 seconds here on Live Ticket TV.
When life gets hard and our thoughts get too much to bear, finding the resiliency within us can help us find healing. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline provides 24/7 free support for anyone in suicidal distress or emotional crisis. All texts and calls are anonymous and connect you to local resources that uphold cultural values and pave the way to healing. Find the strength within you. Find the strength within our culture. Reach out if you need help today.
When it comes to advertising, reaching the right market while giving back to the school is just plain right. If you're looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here's your ticket with Live Ticket TV. With over 90 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you advertise locally with just your home team or reach the region. Plus, a portion of all sales go directly back to the school. Get a hold of Heath Nimke today and let's get started in building your brand with Live Ticket TV. After the Andrew Stephenson timeout for the Canton Seahawks, finding his team trailing by 5, 41-36. The Vermillion Tanagers come in as the 7th-ranked team in the preseason polls. The Canton Seahawks receiving votes. Canton held the lead in the first quarter, have not led though since the final 11 seconds. But able to hit a big shot that time is Aubrey. She now has 4 points in the ball game. 41-38. Trying to go underneath to Hansen. Loose basketball picked up by Richardson. Too strong though. She somehow gets it back. Her own missed shot. And back out by Roovers. By the way, Cole, they call the interception incomplete for the Chargers. So it'll be 4th and 5 for the Eagles. Richardson. Bounce pass over to Roovers. Down with 3 seconds on the shot clock. Roovers is being held up. And in the end, they'll call a jump ball.
Shot clock violation.
Or a shot clock violation, excuse me. Doesn't matter either way. Would have been possession for both the Canton Seahawks. By the way, we did just see Anderson check back into the game, replacing Halverson for the Canton Seahawks. 41-38, 104, third quarter. Anderson. The drive down the block, step back, jumper off the mark. Rebounded by Richardson. Under a minute remaining in this third quarter, 41-38. And now an illegal screen that will go against Nelson. Picking up her third personal. Also be the 5th team foul. It was an offensive foul though, so it won't be free throws, even though it is bonus We're talking under a minute remaining in this third quarter. Turbs underneath the Aubrey, back out. Nora on the drive, stolen away though. And Vermillion gets it back offensively with the shot clock off so they can hold for the last second. Richardson, around the perimeter they go. And Seth underneath to Hansen. Kick out to Richardson. Corner three for her is off the mark. Turbs with the defensive rebound and plenty of time for the Canton Seahawks. Anderson gets it across the timeline. Over to Nora, who will shoot the three, knocks it down. And this one is tied. As Nora DeVitt hits a big three-pointer, her first points of the ball game, and we are tied at the end of quarter number 3, 41-41, as we head to the fourth quarter. The final frame comes up in 60 seconds here on Vermillion Tanagers Live and Live Ticket TV.
Out here, you learn that to keep growing, you have to keep changing. CHS and the farmers and ranchers we serve know all about change, because together we've changed agriculture. That's why we're the largest farmer-owned cooperative in the country. So farmers own the system they count on, with advantages at every step. From innovative tools that help crops grow, to grain processing expertise, to energy solutions, we create connections to empower agriculture. Learn more at chsinc.com.
Nice.
Maytag appreciates a compliment, but this Maytag washer isn't just eye candy.
Wow.
Inside, it's got the capacity and power to handle even the mightiest loads.
I love this.
Yeah, she's a beaut.
It's a he.
How do you know?
Don't worry about it.
Find Maytag products and the industry's best appliances at your local dealer, Merce Appliance, downtown Vermillion. (41-41) as we begin the fourth quarter, and already an immediate turnover as Aubrey wasn't paying attention from York on the inbound. And with 0 time coming off the clock, it's an immediate turnover for the Canton Seahawks. So Vermillion Tanagers will begin with the basketball to start the fourth quarter in the end. Again, after at one point it was 39-30. And a foul called against the Canton Seahawks on a reach-in foul against York. So York picks up her third personal and the first team foul.
Good call there by the center official.
So kick out to Richardson. Certainly be watching these fouls in a close game like this. Rivers takes a deep three. It's going to take a deflection off the face of York. And Vermillion gets it back. Rivers, the quick jumper, knocks it down. She has 25 in the ball game tonight. Taylor Rivers does. And Vermillion will take a 2-point lead. 43-41. 30 seconds already ticked away in this fourth quarter. York loses the basketball. Picked up by Schultz, hands it off to Rivers. Rivers double team for a moment. Trying to get over to Richardson. Pass deflected on its way through. Aubrey has it. Across the timeline she will go. Puts up a very difficult shot. Missed, but Schultz couldn't hold on to it. Loose basketball. Richardson's able to get it. Both teams just need to slow down in this fourth quarter. Get methodical possessions. Come away with points. Rivers underneath to Lexi Hansen. Good job by Hansen to go up with it. She'll head to the free throw line where she hasn't been the strongest so far tonight. Does have 4 points in the ball game, but more specifically, picks up already the second team foul against the Canton Seahawks. Foul as well against Halverson, picking up her third. First free throw is off the mark. We'll also see Jordan Reed come back in the game for the Canton Seahawks, who does have already 4 personal. She replaced Turbs. We'll also see York come out. And Nora DeVitt will come back in for the Canton Seahawks. 43-41. Second free throw is off the mark as well, but it's an offensive rebound back up with Schultz. She misses the putback, but again, we talk about foul trouble. 3 team fouls. And the foul called against Halverson. First free throw is off the mark, and Cole, that certainly is going to be a big talking point for this Vermillion Tanagers team, struggling from the free throw line.
7 for 15.
Second free throw, this one is off the mark. So Vermillion, in this fourth quarter, 4 missed free throws. 43-41. Certainly helps to get the Canton Seahawks into foul trouble as a team to get the bonus. However, have not been able to hit from the charity stripe. Not quite for sure what Aubrey was looking for there, but somehow hands on it and a foul called against the Vermillion Tanagers, as it looked like multiple bodies were just fighting for it. The foul called against Lexi Hansen, picking up now her 3rd personal. First team foul of this fourth quarter, and we've now seen this game kind of completely come to a stall with fouls. Reed first free throw is good. 6 points from her in the ball game, all from the free throw line. Second free throw, this one is good, and we're tied in a game once again. 43-43, 6:30, fourth quarter. Roofers over to Hinseth. Richardson back to Hinseth. They go back and forth with it. The corner with Roofers. Roofers the drive down the block, has her shot blocked away. The quarterback pass, Hinseth with the easy steal. The 3-on-2 for a quick moment for the Vermillion Tanagers, but they'll peel back out. 43-43. Roofers inside the lane. Jumper is off the mark. Rebounded by Schultz. She'll miss. Hinseth fighting for it underneath, and a jump ball called. Possession arrow does favor the Vermillion Tanagers, so it will stay with Vermillion. 5:56, fourth quarter. Roofers to trigger the inbound. They'll go deep. Wide open is Richardson. Was yet to score in the ball game. Moving around. Richardson back out to Hansen. 20 seconds on the shot clock for the Tanagers. Hansen. Kick over to the far wing to Roofers in the corner 3. Had her shot partially blocked. It falls into the hands of the Canton Seahawks. Maya Anderson the opposite way. Shot blocked from behind. And quickly, Roofers from end to end, drives in strong. Foul called against Aubrey, picking up her first personal. But Cole, more specifically, 4th team foul. So next one gives up bonus with 5:20. Again, Vermillion has struggled from the charity stripe. Roofers, though, hits the free throw. 26 points for her in the ball game. 44-43. Second free throw is off the mark, so Vermillion just with the 1-point lead. Halverson trying to get in the front court. Behind the back dribble. Kick to the corner. 3-pointer. This one's off the mark. Rebounded by Anderson. Kick back out to Aubrey, back out to Maya Anderson. Anderson, the drive. Off balance shot, gets it to go. And it's a lead for the Canton Seahawks. Their first lead since 11 seconds remaining in the first quarter. And now a timeout called. 45-44. We'll step aside. We're back in just a moment here on Live Ticket TV.
Birds like tanagers are great at flying out of the way to miss your car. Deer and other drivers are not. If you're in any kind of accident, bring your vehicle to Blaine's Body Shop in Vermillion. We repair your vehicle to pre-accident condition and handle the entire process from start to finish, including an accurate estimate and dealing with the insurance adjuster. So good luck to the tanagers, and if you're in an accident, bring your vehicle to
Blaine's Body Shop. Blaine's Body Shop. Automotive collision repair.
45-44. Cole, we saw head coach John Brooks slap his clipboard down in frustration. As he called the 60-second timeout. What's the conversation right now John Brooks is having with his group?
The biggest thing offensively, you just got to start taking better shots. These quick threes, they might be open, but just because they're quick and they're open doesn't mean they're good. You just got to get in the offense a little bit, giving Canton a lot of opportunities to get these transition buckets, and they've taken advantage of that. One thing offensive as well, just when you get to the free throw line, just relax a little bit, work on your mechanics. It left a lot of points on the board from the charity stripe.
45-44, 4:40, fourth quarter. It's the first lead for the Canton Seahawks since 11 seconds of the first quarter. Canton has never had bigger than a 5-point lead. As I say that, a big three makes it a 4-point lead. That one a big three-pointer for Reed, as she now has 10 points in the ball game. Can the Canton Seahawks pull away late in this fourth quarter? The corner, Hansen with a three-pointer. Air ball underneath to Halverson. Halverson might have gotten tripped up and throws it away, and it will be a turnover.
Canton also out of that timeout have switched up their defense. They've been playing a really aggressive 3-2 zone so far this game. Switched up to a 2-3. Going to have a lot of open corner looks if their forwards keep playing in. Now, as I say that, back to the 3-2.
And again, also, next foul given up by the Canton Seahawks. It will be bonus. So look for Vermillion to keep driving, try to force something inside and draw fouls. Ruvers, step back three, off the mark. Underneath, though, Hansen goes up strong. It's going to be blocked out of bounds. It will stay with the Vermillion Tanagers. 32 seconds on the shot clock. 48-44, 3:42. Ruvers to trigger the inbound. Kick it over to Hinseth, the quick three-pointer off the mark. Rebounded by Reed. Halverson back out to Reed. Quick jumper, knocks it down. Jordan Reed with now 7 points in this fourth quarter. 12 for the ball game. It's a 6-point lead, the biggest lead, and a foul called against the Canton Seahawks. It was a shooting foul. It's also bonus time. The foul called on Aubrey, picking up her second personal. Free throws upcoming for Ruvers. Knocks down the first one. Taylor Ruvers with 27 points in the ball game. We knew the sophomore guard would be impressive this year. She certainly has had a great performance in this first game of her season. Free throw is off, but gets back her own rebound. Trailing by 5. Key possessions here late in the game for the Vermillion Tanagers. Lexi Hansen out to Hinseth. Ruvers, contested shot, off the mark. Reed to Anderson. Canton Seahawks slowing things down a little bit offensively. Anderson hands off to Turbs, and now contact underneath. And the foul will be called against Izzy Richardson, picking up her third personal, the second team foul. So there's contact underneath the hoop. 50-45, 2:48, fourth quarter. Quick inbound, get back off. Jumper good by Reed, who just can't seem to miss. 9 points for her in the fourth quarter. Back up to a 7-point lead. Should say the biggest lead that the Canton Seahawks have had in the ball game. To the corner, three-pointer off the mark for Nelson. Rebound by Richardson. She goes back up and gets a big jumper for her. Izzy Richardson, her first points of the ball game, come at a crucial time. And now a quick timeout, 52-47. We're back in 30 seconds here on Live Ticket TV and Vermillion Tanagers Live.
Could you use some extra cash? Every Thursday night, we're hosting Chase the Pink Ace with a large jackpot and growing jackpot. I'm RF Bowie, the founder of Team Bowie Cares. 100% of the profits go to local cancer patients fighting their fight. You can get your tickets at any business inside Al's Oasis or online at chasethepinkace.org. Drawing is held every Thursday night at 8:08 p.m. at the Last Chance Saloon inside Al's Oasis.
Hey, Greg.
42-47 fans. Don't forget to check out 605 Sports. The full rankings from all the classes in the state of South Dakota as the preseason rankings are out. It's a full court pass. Wide open is Halverson. Trying to get it underneath to Anderson. And as they pass over to her, a foul called against Ruvers. Ruvers picking up her second personal. And a third team foul. And Cole Canton just trying to slow this game down a little bit now as they have a 5-point lead with 2:19 remaining in the ball game.
Yeah, just trying to make sure everybody's on the same page. This time I was mainly just, I'm sure, just drawing up a play. Maybe trying to get an open look for three, make this thing a 9-pointer. Well, as I correct my scoreboard here, a 7, it'd make it, well, if I can do some math here, an 8-point game if they could get a 3-ball. Going to be something along the lines of just drop a quick play, try to get a quick score, maybe even change up, go to a full court defense, make the Tanagers start to get quick late, because as we've seen so far this game, as they start to get quick, they start to get a lot of turnovers.
52-47, 2:19 fourth quarter. The Canton Seahawks were able to tie it up at the end of the third quarter, 41-41. They have since taken a lead in this fourth quarter, have not surrendered it back to the Vermillion Tanagers. Anderson, off-balance shot, bank is good, and she's fouled, and will head to the free throw line. And Cole, you feel like that one might have been the dagger shot for the Canton Seahawks.
Yeah, that was a big one. Like I said, just try to get a quick open look, and now if they can get the 3-point play, well, that puts us to a big disadvantage for the Tanagers.
And Anderson's able to convert 16 points for her in the ball game. 55-47, 8-point game with 2:08 remaining in this contest. Over to the corner. And stolen away, then a reach and foul. Bonus time for the Canton Seahawks. A foul called against Lexi Hansen.
Tanagers went from 2-team to 5-team fouls in the span of about 30 seconds in the game time. Not exactly ideal defensively, as now you're down 8. This could make it double figures.
Halverson, the first free throw is good. Halverson with 6 points in the ball game tonight. Second free throw, this one is off the mark. Be a 9-point lead though for the Canton Seahawks and an offensive board. And they could take their time. Coach Andrew Stephenson is beyond himself as he just tells his group, slow down and shoot the three immediately.
The hands went from the slow down gesture to over his head very quickly on that shot.
Talk about young team for both these groups. Roofers, the missed 3-pointer, will go out of bounds. And it will be Canton Seahawks to inbound it. 100 seconds remaining in this contest. Tanagers find themselves trailing by 9. Unless we see some crazy turnovers and quick buckets by the Vermillion Tanagers. Canton Seahawks will begin their season 1-0. Halverson the drive, off the mark, Turbs, the offensive rebound, didn't have to go back up, Gracie didn't, but decides to. She has 11. Quickly opposite way, Richardson can't convert. Rebounded by Reed, and for the Canton Seahawks, they just have to hold for the Vermillion Tanagers. No need to foul as it would give bonus, or free throws I should say, we're already into bonus.
Should say with that last bucket, Gracie Turbis now double-double, 11 points, 11 rebounds.
Anderson is Again, Canton Seahawks are just playing to waste this clock now. Up by 11, 58-47. Gracie to the top. Anderson wide open. Shoot the three with 2 seconds on the shot clock. Misses. Rebounded by Rivers. Rivers traveled. No. Foul from behind. Rivers asked, was it a shooting foul? No.
Gotta ask.
I gotta ask. Was it what's gonna hurt? Cole, I work in the business of sales. And they always say, what's the worst that can happen? Being told no? Free throw is up and good for Rivers. So I didn't disappoint for her tonight. 28 points in the ball game, but not going to be enough. Second free throw is good. 58-49. Just trying to make a turnover in the front court with the shot clock off. Canton Seahawks will hold and open up their season with the win. So turnover happens. Rivers the opposite way, easily off the glass and good for 2. And Rivers with 31. Now Turbs will just hurl on to it, and that one's final. 58-51. The Canton Seahawks not only open up their season with a win, but also, more specifically, open up their season with a 4A victory and a DAC-12 victory as well. A final score 58-51 tonight over the Vermillion Tanagers. The Canton Seahawks with the win. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll take a look at the final game statistics and also look ahead to what's coming up for the end of this week. That is all on the way next here on Vermillion Tanagers Live and Live Ticket TV.
Never too early to start planning for your future. Did you know Masaba provides scholarships and tuition assistance? They are committed to your success, offering engineering, drafting, and welding opportunities, plus scholarships, job shadowing, and mentorship programs. Learn more at masabainc.com/careers. When I grow up, I want to work at Masaba.
Masaba Manufacturing. Unlock your future and rock with us.
Midwest Ready Mix Equipment is your locally owned and operated ready mix company. Their specialty, 6x6 front discharge mixer trucks that allows for better placement of concrete and ease of use. Midwest Ready Mix Equipment offers the highest quality of concrete products and aggregate, and also a full-service dealer for low-gun equipment featuring telehandlers, excavators, and ASV track skid loaders for purchase or rent. Midwest Ready Mix Equipment, East Highway 50, Vermillion.
Jensen Kennels is your safe place to take your dog while you're away. They have over 7,000 square feet of indoor run space and outdoor play yards. They pride themselves in providing enrichment both mentally and physically for all types of dog. And speaking of size, Jensen Kennels can host any size of dog, from the smallest Boston Terrier to the largest Great Dane. To find out the full services Jensen Kennels offers, check out their website and Facebook pages. Next time you need your dog to stay in a safe, fun environment, make it Jensen's Kennels.
Fentanyl is a powerful synthetic opioid, up to 100 times stronger than morphine. Even a tiny amount can be deadly. It's often mixed with other drugs without your knowledge, increasing your risk of overdose. Protect yourself and your loved ones and avoid unknown substances. Stay informed, stay safe, and remember, one pill can kill. For more information on fentanyl prevention, visit your local health resource or speak to a healthcare professional today. This message was brought to you by the Great Plains Tribal Opioid Response, so that the people may live.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
(58-51), the Canton Seahawks get the season opening win against the Vermillion Tanagers. They also open up with a Region 4A victory and also a DAC 12 victory for the Canton Seahawks. As we take a look at the final game scoring, only one to hit double figures for the Vermillion Tanagers tonight with 31 points with Taylor Rivers. Maya Anderson led the way for the Canton Seahawks with 16 points. Cole taking a look at the full game statistics. What do you have for us tonight, including a couple girls out there for some double-doubles tonight for both teams? What do you got for our full game statistics here tonight?
Just finishing up my final tallies. There we go. For the victorious Canton Seahawks, 58 points, led by Maya Anderson, 17 points, 7 rebounds, 3 steals in there as well. Jordan Reed, 14 points, 6 rebounds, a steal and a block. Gracie Turbis, double-double, 11 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. Other scores, Kellyanna Halverson with 6 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 steals. Jayla York and Nora DeVitt both had 3. Aubrey Dermeyer had 4. 58 points, they had 30 total team rebounds. 11 of those were on the offensive side of the ball, 7 assists, 13 steals, and 2 blocks as a team. They also went 12 for 18 from the free throw line. They'll move to 1-0 on the season. For the Vermillion Tanagers, 51 points, led by Taylor Ruvers with her 31. Shea Hinseth, 6 points, 3 rebounds. Callie Schultz, 6 points, 9 rebounds, 2 steals in there as well. Lexi Hansen with 4 points and 3 rebounds. Izzy Richardson, 2 points, 6 rebounds. Tanagers, 51 points on 32 rebounds. 13 of those on the offensive side of the glass. They had 10 assists, 15 steals, and 3 blocks. One of the biggest numbers of the game. They went 11 for 22 from the free throw line, so neither team really succeeded from the free throw line, just 66% for Canton compared to 50% for the Tanagers, but leaving 11 free points out there on the board were the Vermillion Tanagers. They'll fall to 0-1. It was 14-12 after the first quarter. Tanagers jumped out at the halftime lead, 32-28. It was a 13-9 third quarter in favor of Canton, tied it up at 41 apiece, and a 17-10 fourth quarter, making it the final score 58-51 here in Canton.
Certainly a tough loss tonight for the Vermillion Tanagers, but Cole, the way this season we kind of expect things to go for them, it's certainly going to be a lot of growing pains and things to continue to grow on and move forward this season.
I think we saw a lot of, we can obviously focus on a lot of the things that didn't go well in this game, but I think what John Brooks is going to do is focus on some of the things that went well, especially in that first half. The ball distribution, moving it around in against that 3-2 zone of Canton. There's a lot of good things you can take away from that first half. Getting Shaylin Hinseth involved early, getting Callie Schultz involved out underneath. They're going to be 2 big keys for this team. You can get a good shooter on the outside and a good post player on the inside. You're going to set yourself up to compete against these DAC 12 Region 4A teams. But then it just seemed on the defensive side, once Vermillion started to get quickened up on the offensive side, that's when Canton really put the foot on the gas. They were able to force turnovers, get a lot of easy transition buckets, and really pile on the points late in that third quarter, early in that fourth quarter, make this lead impossible to come back from. But again, still very early in the season, a lot of good things to build on for the Tanagers, but also a lot of good things to look at for the Seahawks as well. This is a team that went 14-7 last year, averaged 54 points a game. They're right at that, so as long as they can keep on distributing the wealth up top in their scoring, as long as they can play really balanced, they're going to be a solid team here in Region 4A and the DAC 12.
Vermillion is off until next Tuesday on the road once again to take on West Central. They don't come home until the 18th to take on Ponca, a good Ponca team from the state of Nebraska. Cole, before we leave here, getting ready for the boys. They open up their season against Sioux Falls Lutheran on Friday. Look forward to a fun game there.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really good showing. Again, early in the season opener, getting to open it up at home this year. That's always going to be a big key. Going to get a lot of people in the birdcage out to kind of see what this Tanager squad is all about. You talk about graduating, I believe it was 6 seniors last year, a lot of big key pieces, but also bringing back a lot of good scorers. Luke Jensen, Trey Hansen coming to the top of the mind, but also bringing in a lot of good young players. They're going to get their chance to get some good varsity minutes for the first time in their career. How do they kind of shape up this team? And what's going to turn out to be, no matter how good or bad Vermillion is, there's not an easy game on their schedule this season between their DAC-12 teams, region foes, all these classics that they're in. I mean, it's going to be a grinder of a season for both these teams. It'll be interested to see how they turn out. And no easy test to start off, as Sioux Falls Lutheran, like I kind of talked about earlier, one of the better stories of the sports year so far this season. Just their second year as a football team, making it to the second or third round in their playoffs in 9B. A lot of great athletes that are going to be down in Vermillion for the season opener on Friday, and I think it's going to be a really entertaining game.
Fans, we still have not seen John Brooks and his group come out of the locker room, as it's been an extended conversation. Again, your final tonight here in Canton. Canton Seahawks get the victory 58-51 over the Vermillion Girls. Along with Cole Larsch, I've been Heath Nimke. We're back with you at 6 o'clock coming up this Friday as Sioux Falls Lutheran travels to take on the Vermillion boys. You can catch all the action right here on Vermillion Tanagers Live and Live Ticket TV. Until then, have yourself a wonderful rest of your evening.